Hi friends, welcome to day 51 of 100 Ways to Study Your Scriptures. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about ponderizing a scripture. So that is a term, ponderize, that came from General Conference a few years ago. Devin Durant gave a talk, and he said that what he liked to do with his family and when he was a mission president was to take a scripture a week, to print it out somewhere where he could see it a lot, and then daily for that week spend 80% of his time trying to ponder on that scripture and 20% of the time trying to memorize the scripture, and there you get ponderize. And so the scripture I've decided to ponderize this week, it comes from Doctrine and Covenants 88 verse 118, which is a scripture about knowledge. And in the Young Women Values, knowledge is one of the values, and this is the scripture that goes along with it. So I wrote it out here, just all wrote it out. But then I decided to write it out in this way. How about this so you can see it better? So that it kind of like made a little bit more sense to me. When I like writing it out in a little bit different ways sometimes. So I have Doctrine and Covenants 88, 118, and as all have not faith. So this is what you do. Not everybody has faith. So what we need to do is seek ye diligently. So every day be looking for that faith. Teach one another words of wisdom. Yea, seek out of the best books words of wisdom. And you're going to seek learning even by study and also by faith. So I thought these are just some different things that I can do. I can seek diligently, I can teach, I can seek out of the best books, and I can learn by study and also by faith. So that's why I wanted to set it up this way. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to pin it right up to my bulletin board as we speak so I can look at that for the week. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about that scripture if you have time and you'd care to join me. I went and looked online, and there is a website called ponderize.me, and someone has like lots of blog posts, and they ponderize a scripture. I'm not sure if it's every week. I assume it is. And what this person does is first they choose a scripture reference. So I'm going to follow along with their plan and choose section 88 verse 118. The next thing they do is choose a related scripture. So I chose Proverbs 23:12. Apply thine heart unto instruction and thine ears to the words of knowledge. Then they wrote out their thoughts about the scripture. And so I did that over here. I just needed more room. And I love this scripture because it says, as all have not faith. Like, we're not dealing in life with everyone who is at the same place where we are where it comes to faith. And so we need to understand that maybe our faith is lacking, other people's faith is lacking, those that we teach, their faith might be lacking, and everyone can improve. And so my faith, I'm at a time in my life where my faith is growing, but some people might not be there yet, so I can teach them. So how can I teach someone to have faith? One thing I loved that the scripture said is teach one another. So I took that to mean that I can gain faith by learning from someone else's teachings, but also as I teach, I will gain faith. So I liked that. Where do I get this wisdom? So I'm going to teach words of wisdom. So where do I get this wisdom? Just off the top of my head, I think just living your life teaches you wisdom. Your trials teach you wisdom. Watching others, and like it says in the scripture here, studying out of the best books will teach you wisdom. And I thought the best books would be my scriptures. I really like the Ensign, the General Conference versions, the Friend, the New Era. And also there's books that teach truth. Any book that teaches truth, I think is one of the best books. And I think they kind of go in this order too. The scriptures are probably your best bet, as well as your General Conference addresses. And then how can I learn? So I can learn by study, which to me this is study, but I can also learn by faith. So when I have those trials and things like that in my life, I think if I look for the Lord's hand in everything, and look of how the Lord is trying to teach me, then that helps to build my faith. So those are some of my thoughts about this scripture. And then the last thing we're going to do is how does this strengthen my testimony? Well, as you know, if you've been following me for a few days, I am trying to help our Young Women program continue with the unity that we built at Young Women's Camp. And I'm the secretary, so teaching isn't something that I specifically do on a regular basis, officially, as the secretary. But this Sunday, we are having a meeting, and we're all bringing our journals from camp, and we're going to share things that we learned at camp. And so I thought I will share the things that I learned at camp. I'm going to actually speak up this time and talk to the young women about it. And as I can help them grow in faith, I feel like that will help us grow in unity. And I've been talking about that for a few days here if you want to go back and check out on my channel. So this is my Ponderize, also learning about knowledge today. That's how I studied the scriptures today. I hope you have a great day studying your scriptures, and I'll see you next time. Bye.